Hello, I'm Carlton Reid, and this is the Bike to Work Book Podcast. At the back end of September, I recorded this show with Ellen Hall of Cateye and Josh Hon of Dahon at Interbike in Las Vegas.
One of the things that's actually been introduced here are a number of websites, and one of them is called worldcommute.com, and that is from Cateye. So if I'd like to take you across to Ellen from Cateye. Now, before we start on worldcommute.com, congratulations, you've actually won an award. Can you just tell us a bit about that, Ellen?
Yeah, at lunchtime actually, I'll be receiving an award from the Outdoor Industry Women's Coalition, and the award is called the First Ascent Award, and it's rewarding women who show potential for leadership and women who have just been making an impact in the industry. So I'm really honored and pleased to be receiving that.
Now, I've been doing my research on you, and it sounds like a fantastic story you have there. You have a family with 5 children?
Yes, I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay, and you don't own a car?
No, I've been lucky to live in a lot of areas that I haven't needed a car, and I've actually kind of, chosen kind of my direction in life based on the way, that I can get around by bike quite easily, and it's been really, really fun for me.
So how did you get into the bike trade? Was this always something you wanted to get into?
My family did a lot of bicycle touring as I was growing up. I started out in the back of the Burley trailer and then progressed to the back of my parents' tandems before, riding my own bike. And so we did a lot of touring, and then when it was time for me to get a part-time job in high school, the natural direction was our local bike shop. So I received a lot of encouragement along the way from my parents and the shop owners to just, keep on biking, and I ended up doing some racing, throughout high school and college, and after that, and ended up in Boulder and working for Cateye.
Now, Boulder's quite a bike-friendly city, I believe.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about Boulder and how good it is.
Yeah, Boulder is great. It has a lot of very active people, really community-oriented around active lifestyles, and especially around just making it easy to get around by bike. We have a lot of dedicated bike lanes that you can use, with traffic, of course. And then we have a lot of also bike paths that you can just link up from one end of the city to the other, just kind of get all around town, and basically do it all on the paths and never even cross a road. So it's really phenomenal. And also in the winter, one of my kind of favorite things is that they'll clear the snow off of the bike paths
first
before they clear the snow off of the roads. So even in the winter, it's not really a problem at all getting to and from work or the library, grocery store, wherever you need to go really easily.
So how much percentage-wise is commuting by bike in Boulder?
I'm sorry?
How much is the percentage of people who cycle to work?
Yeah. I would say Boulder is pretty high. I mean,
it's 1% is the average in the US.
Yeah.
And then, even places like Portland are only meant to get about 5%. So
yeah.
I guess Boulder's somewhere between the two.
Yeah, I would say so. Not quite as popular as Portland yet, but but it's getting there. And there are a lot of efforts that they're making. Improving the bike path system so that they link up even more seamlessly, or go under major intersections so that you don't have to cross any roads to get from one side of the path to the other. So they're doing excellent improvements all the time. Really working to encourage that.
And tell me about getting the job with Cateye. You didn't start in your current position. You've worked your way through the ranks there. So tell me how you got involved.
So I started at Cateye actually kind of working on a part-time basis while I was still racing, just doing a lot of tech support and customer service phone calls, and just kind of moved my way on up. And now I am the marketing manager and the project manager for the new World Commute website that we're just launching right here at the trade show.
Tell me about that then. So what exactly is worldcommute.com going to do?
Yeah, so worldcommute.com is a site that we have put together to help promote and encourage bicycle commuting. We also have areas that we can log walking and skateboarding and other types of human power, so pretty inclusive with human-powered efforts. But what you do is you log on and you create an account for yourself. Asks you a few basic questions, asks the city that you live, and then based on that, it'll pull the gas average prices from your location, It also asks about the car that you'd be leaving at home, the make, model, and year. You can put in the, kind of the fuel economy that you would typically get. So based on all those, things that you enter for your account profile, it will calculate your carbon offset information, your gas savings in dollars, your gas savings in gallons, some health points, and you can log up to 6 activities per day. Whether you're commuting to and from work, to and from school. We have taking care of business miles, so if you walked over to the deli at lunch versus hopping in your car, you can log those miles too. Also health and fitness miles. So if you went out for a run on your lunch hour, you can log those miles as well. The health and fitness miles, though, don't contribute towards your overall, impact or savings.
Because that's not transportation. That's
exactly.
That's
Exactly. So each time you log onto your account and you log those miles and those trips, it'll give you a running total across the top of the screen of your personal impact, as well as at the bottom of the screen, it'll show global statistics of, how much, gas has been saved by everyone contributing, and just kind of each of those metrics, it will show a world ranking as well. So,
because of the name, World Commute, obviously. So this is rolled out. This is a US only at the moment, but it's rolling out into other regions and countries.
Exactly. It'll be available in a total of 8 languages. You can also choose, how you would prefer, in your account profile settings, you can, choose the language you'd like to, visit the site in. You can also choose your currency and, whether you'd like to read the stats in liters or gallons, miles or kilometers. So you can really personalize the site, for the best possible experience.
And you ride on this side of the road, and we ride on that side of the road.
And, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when is all the different versions coming on stream? So we have US now, and when is everything else coming on? Bit by bit?
The additional languages will be available shortly. We're kind of teaming up with our Cateye distributors throughout the world to kind of work with them to see when would be the best time to launch those sites for them. And so far, they've kind of indicated that the spring might be a better time for them to launch it than right now. So we'll get them up and running and do some testing on our side before we roll those out.
It all sounds as though it's very much aimed at certainly who I'm very interested in, and that's the new person into cycling. So this is not really aimed at an existing enthusiast who probably has that information, is already cycling to work, and doesn't need that extra fill-up to say, right, I'm saving this much on gas, because they kind of know already. So how are you actually getting to those people who you want to get?
That's been an exciting process, because originally we had decided that we would just work to promote commuting within the cycling industry. But once we thought about it, we decided most cycling industry people already own bikes. Yeah. They know it's a good thing to do. They know how to do it. And there's not as much, like fear or uncertainty surrounding the whole idea. So we're really working to develop an extensive resource library, to just list, just all types of tips, what to do for commuting in the spring or commuting in the winter, or, what to pack to, get your business clothes from home to the office and to look presentable at work. So you're just trying to make that resource library really extensive, and then kind of work to reach out to some media resources outside of the cycling industry to really kind of bring in a better awareness about the site. And we're lucky because we've really tried to think of all the angles that people could be interested. Whether they're most interested in saving money, we can reach one demographic that way, or whether they're interested in a more healthy, active lifestyle, we can reach out to those groups of people, or whether they're interested in only environmental issues and they don't care that much about the health aspects of it. So just trying to really reach out to all those different areas to really have a really broad group of people come into the site and be able to have a great experience and just kind of learn what they need to do to get out there and start doing it.
What do you think of the sites? Because there's a one from Sivia, there's a one from Trek that's already out there, doing roughly similar things. Yeah. What do you think to these sites? Are all of these things good for the mix, and they'll bring new people in and
absolutely
bounce off each other?
We've been kind of on top of all those different sites, and there are new ones just popping up all the time that you just hear about, hearing about new ones just left and right. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it the most complete experience, to try to really pull from, national gas average based on, your location, based on your vehicle, and trying to make the data as concise as possible. But, as far as all the other sites, it's great. I mean, if people stumble across one site or another site, what have you, the more people we can just get commuting and bring into it, the better, because they'll, word of mouth, they'll talk to their friends, they'll talk to their families, and so just kind of strengthening the whole bicycle commuting idea and bringing popularity to it in any way we can is great.
I can see why you won this award, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much.
If I can bring Josh Hon in from Dahon here. Have you seen these sites that are out there, these commute sites where bringing people in and giving gas calculators, and do you think it has an effect?
I haven't seen them yet. I think anything that kind of magnifies, not doing quite as well as you, but I think any site where it really shows you, the various benefits of commuting will really make that a lot more apparent.
Yeah.
People. So I think that is something that's very good for commuters.
Let's talk about Dahon, because every year, every 6 months on bikebiz.com,
right,
I always seem to be writing a story that you've supplied to me about Dahon has had record sales. We've grown the sales by 33% again, and I've been putting those stories online for 5-6 years, perhaps even more. It just seems to be this exponential growth which you've been experiencing. Is that something that has happened in the last 5-6 years, and so that bell curve, it's just ramped up in the last 5 years, or was this something that you've always seen since your father founded it?
No, I think in the last 5 to 6 years it has really started ramping up. But if anything, I think we're relatively early on the curve in terms of growth. I think depending on market, in some markets we're really seeing, for example, I spend most of my time in Taiwan, but up to 30% of all bikes sold now are folding bikes.
In the Far East? Or?
In Taiwan. In Taiwan market. So I think, and I think, I think from what you're seeing, from what we're seeing in the U.S. market, we're seeing the U.S. market poised for fairly explosive growth in terms of that urban category. I think everybody suddenly has realized that we've been talking about urban bike commuting for 25 years. We've been at it, and in the early days it was tough going. But I think now everybody seems to get it. They realize how important it is to be looking for alternative forms of transport. So we're excited. We've known it's this is the direction that things have to go. But now other people say, hey, that's a good idea, and so it's an exciting time.
Josh, you gave me goosebumps there when you said we're just at the start. I mean, this is like, we're thinking this is a good market right now, but if you're right, and we're going to get an enormous growth, do you see that growth coming from gas price hikes? And if so, would it not just escalate down if gas prices go down, as they have done, of course?
Well, I don't think gas prices are going down for any substantial period of time. I mean, I think it will go like this, maybe down, but in the end, demand is outstripping supply. Everybody knows that, perhaps with the exception of a few people in the government. But I mean, when demand outstrips supply, you get very quickly increasing prices. I mean, that's just by definition that happens. And so today it's $4 a gallon gasoline, but within 2 to 3 years, $8-10 we think is pretty likely. I mean, you have $10 a gallon gasoline
in the UK, yes,
right?
yes. Yeah.
But I think also in terms of the explosive growth, it depends on the market. So in those markets where you already have very high percentages of bike use, say the Netherlands or Germany, maybe that growth is not explosive.
Sure.
But in markets like the US, where bicycles right now are primarily used for recreation, I think you are going to see pretty explosive growth in that urban commuting category.
Because it's coming from such a low start, 1% of transport.
Yes.
So you subscribe to the John Burke view of Trek, he's been going around the Far East, he's been going around the industry basically saying, if we spent more money on advocacy, getting more people onto bikes, if we grew, I think it's just the US market, if we grew the US market from the 1% we have now to 5%, which doesn't sound a huge amount to go for, then we will have a market so many more billions bigger. Do you think that the people in this show hall right now, who we do see more commuter bikes, every year we are seeing more stuff, yet it is very, very much a recreational show. Do you see that as a good thing, a bad thing, that we're getting niche of a niche of a niche of a niche in the enthusiast product, maybe taking people's eye away from, but we have this huge market which we're probably ignoring?
Yes, I do subscribe to John Burke's view. I mean, I think that's pretty self-evident. I think if you look at bike commuting, let's say in Germany or Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, that's a tremendous bike market. I mean, if you look at the average Dutch citizen has more than one bicycle. If you extrapolate that to the U.S., I mean, yes, the market will grow by multiples. I think it'll take quite a lot of time for us to get there. But just moving in small steps in that direction is a start. So like you mentioned, just putting in the infrastructure in Boulder, and there are a lot of cities now just putting in infrastructure, and you see that as that infrastructure goes in, you really see the bike usage go up, and that's really exciting.
Ellen, have you seen in the last year with gas price hikes, have you seen in Boulder a lot more people out there who wouldn't have been out there before?
Yeah, I think so, and it's this summer especially. I think I noticed that more people were getting out on bikes. Sometimes it was a little bit frustrating to me because the bike paths would be really crowded, but that's a great problem to have. And you could just tell that there were a lot of them that maybe seemed a little bit uncertain about where the paths go or which side to be on, or just kind of the path etiquette. But to just smile and say hi and good morning, whatever, just anything I can do to just kind of share the love and just make sure people are having a great time and really feel comfortable out there. So it's really a neat thing to see.
Your products, there's a large percentage of your products which are aimed fairly and squarely at the commuter market.
Yes.
So Josh, I was saying before, has experienced 33% growth for the last 5 years, perhaps even more than that. What kind of growth have you seen in your commuter lines?
Yeah, we have seen growth in those, in the kind of the commuter lines, and we've really kind of almost shifted our whole kind of corporate idea towards those products. We've got some really great new rechargeable lights that have internal battery packs, so they're really quick to install and take off. You don't have an additional battery to Velcro on. So we're really kind of trying to tailor our products to kind of what's going on now to make it easier and better for people. And I think that is really helping with sales.
This could be a question to both of you. I'll go to Josh first, but then Ellen just pitch in afterwards. Do you think the bike trade is often guilty of making over-complex products, perhaps too many products, and then that confuses people at the point of retail? and maybe if we had a more simplified line, or do you think choice is always a good thing?
Well, I think the bike business now is largely run by enthusiasts, and I think that's that's great in one sense, but in the other sense, like you said, sometimes I think you can get too much into really niche specialty products that are great for enthusiasts, but perhaps aren't appropriately marketed towards the general public that doesn't ride. And I think that's something that we're trying to do, is we're trying to talk to the people who don't ride now and say, hey, why don't you think about riding to work? So I think you need the enthusiasts, you need the passion, and I think that's good. But if you want to really grow the business, you also need to talk to all of those people who know nothing about all of these specialty widgets and gadgets. So,
and Ellen, same question to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there can be a lot of choices, and especially for a new consumer, as you were saying, that might not be a bike enthusiast. It's a very intimidating experience to go into a bike shop and does somebody run up to you and want to help you right away, and you don't really maybe know what you want? Or do they just leave you alone because they figure you already have the place figured out and just don't need help? So that is a challenge. What we're doing actually, starting in the spring, is we're just going to package, a commuter pack. A headlight, a taillight, and a pretty basic, cycling computer. Just easy to install. Someone shows up and they're new to the whole idea. It'll make it easy. It'll say World Commuter Pack. Just grab it and it'll have what you need to commute.
And you're talking there about bike shops run by enthusiasts sometimes not being quite so open to new people coming in, and perhaps even women coming into cycling. It can be very intimidating going into an average enthusiast-run bike shop. Mm-hmm. So, from your experience, do you have bike shops in Boulder who definitely cater for women and cater for enthusiasts and are very welcoming to new people? And what can bike shops do if they're not already like that?
Yeah, in Boulder, of course, we're lucky again there with the bike shops. We have a really good variety from, kind of the introductory family-style bike shops all the way through some really boutique, high-end type of shops. We do have a few that are very good at kind of reaching out to new cyclists, and one in particular, University Bikes. They've got a dedicated person standing at the front door just greeting people as they come in. So, it's really...
So the Walmart approach.
It's
done nice.
Yes, but nice, yeah. So you've got somebody, standing there smiling at you when you come in. Just say hello and, see if you need help with anything or if you need pointed in the right direction. And I think that a lot of the success of shops with regards to new customers and women is just kind of working with employees to, try to feel out maybe some of the employees that have the right people skills that are good at kind of assessing the situation, seeing who's coming in the door, making eye contact, trying to really make people feel welcome without going over the top, because, some people kind of need to ease into it and maybe don't want to talk right away. But to just kind of feel that out and to have a really good lines of communications between the shop owner or manager and the employees, and trying to work with them as far as, making sure everyone is acknowledged, kind of see what they want to do, not just this is the bike that we have sitting on the floor and take it out the door right away, but, what do you want to do with the bike, or, just kind of getting to the base level and like where they should even start. If they ride a bike right now, if they haven't ridden a bike since they were 8 years old, just kind of feeling out the situation and trying to best cater to that person. So,
and you're having retail links on your site, so your website's like an interface between shops and your brand and the information you're providing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping that a great resource as far as just information, we'll have, various information sources, recommendations of where they can find information particular to their area if, they're looking to find a route from their home to their office. Also, tying in with the retailers, because of course we really want to support all of our retail shops as well. So just kind of trying to complete the circle and just make sure that everybody's kind of thought of along the way, and everyone knows how to kind of get in touch with who they need to get in touch with, or kind of make the steps to make it happen.
Sure. Josh, you've obviously visited a lot of bike shops around the world. What are their strengths and perhaps weaknesses on this particular market, the new person into cycling?
Well, I think there are shops that do a really good job with new consumers, and shops that don't do quite as well. I think I think it's good to focus on those that do a really good job, and I think with the IBD is increasingly under pressure from mass chain store type retail outlets, and it's important for independent bike dealers to really be in a way inclusive and to be able to service the needs of all types of different consumers. If you are too specialty, too niche, and you ignore, let's say, 50% of the population because women don't feel comfortable coming into your shop, you're potentially losing, half of your sales. And it's tough to compete in today's world if you're just simply ignoring half of your potential customers. So I think it's really important to get out there and look at the shops that are doing a good job and seeing how you can learn from them. That's something that we do actually, is that we go out and we talk to all of our distributors, we talk to our retailers, and we look at kind of the best practices, and then we kind of disseminate that information to all of our other distributors and retailers, so that they get an idea of, okay, what are the best guys in the industry doing? So I think it's very, very important to be able to service that new consumer.
Now, my colleague, Tim Grahl of CommuteByBike.com, is out on the show floor there scoping out all of the best Commute by Bike products for a book, which I know that you know about, because you were one of the very first supporters of the book, which is the Bike to Work book. Yes. And it's the biketoworkbook.com, which is the website on that. Now, why did you come in and support that book quite so early? Because you really were like instant. As soon as we told you about it, it's like, boom, I want to be in that.
Yeah.
That's what our company was founded on. My dad started the company because he thought people need to use efficient forms of transportation. And so he left his good job, he left his comfortable working environment. He was working in Malibu, California. So he looked at one side as the hills, one side as the beach. It's very comfortable, but he felt very strongly about people needing to use environmentally responsible forms of transport. So that's what we're all about. We've been at it for 25 years, and so when we hear about somebody trying to encourage companies and people to commute to work, and we know you.
Thank you very much, Josh. That's fantastic. And thank you very much, Ellen from Cateye. And that's all we've got time for today, I'm afraid. But you can watch more of the Interbike TV coverage on Cycling TV and on Interbike.com if you click through to the media centre. And I'm Carlton Reid of BikeBiz.com and QuickRelease.tv and the BikeToWorkBook.com. Go and visit those sites, do please. And that's it. Thank you very much.